Yes, dear students, in the last class we have discussed about Van 't Hoff factor. Okay, what is Van 't Hoff factor? I is equals to the number of particles or molecules present in a solution divided by the number of molecules taken in a solution. Okay, if I is equals to 1, then that the colligative properties are normal colligative properties. If I not equals to 1, when that I not equals to 1, dear students, means it is more than 1 or less than 1, means if the solute undergoes dissociation, then I value is more than 1. If the I value is less than 1, means the solute undergoes association. Under that conditions, abnormal colligative properties are observed. If the solute is 100% ionized or less than 100% ionized or less than 100% associate, in that case we have to derive the relation between the degree of dissociation constant and Van 't Hoff factor, or degree of association constant and Van 't Hoff factor. Okay, students, let's see that the first relation, the relation between the degree of dissociation constant. Here alpha, in the association constant also symbol alpha, means dissociation means one molecule is converted into more number of particles, that is called dissociation. For example, NaCl can be ionized to give Na plus and Cl minus. So if the NaCl is not 100% dissociated, then we need to derive the relation between the degree of dissociation constant and Van 't Hoff factor. So the relation is alpha is equals to I minus 1 by, so alpha is equals to I minus 1 by n minus 1. N is nothing but number of particles. Okay, for example, NaCl is ionized to gives Na plus and Cl minus only. Okay, so the alpha is equals to 80 percentage only, means the alpha value is equals to 0.8. In that case, what is the I value? So under this condition, I is equals to 0.8 is equals to I minus 1 divided by 2 minus 1, then the I is equals to 1.8. Because actually if NaCl is 100% ionized, then the I value is equals to 2 will comes. If NaCl is not 100% ionized, just 80% only ionized, then the I value Van 't Hoff factor I, if the NaCl is 80% ionized, then the I is equals to 1.8 will come. In the same way, for example, acetic acid is undergoes dimerization will takes place, I said, and benzoic acid is also dimerized. Then if the dimerization means association is 100% associated, then the alpha value, sorry, I value for acetic acid or benzoic acid is equals to 0.5, I said. If the association is not 100% takes place, then the degree of association constant and Van 't Hoff factor relation is equals to alpha is equals to I minus 1 by 1 by n minus 1, where n is equals to number of molecules are associated. A number of molecules are associated. Okay, students, based on this association or dissociation, if the solute undergoes association or dissociation, okay, then the abnormal colligative properties are observed. Then the abnormal colligative properties formulas are, the first one is relative lowering of vapor pressure. All the colligative properties we must have to multiply it with the I value. If the solute does not undergoes association or dissociation, then the I is equals to 1, then normal colligative properties. Already that formulas we are derived. If the solute undergoes dissociation or association, under that condition, that colligative properties we must have to multiply it with Van 't Hoff factor. Okay, then the RLVP is equals to I into mole fraction of solute, and elevation of boiling point constant is equals to I into Kb into molality, and depression of freezing point delta TB is equals to I into Kf into molality. Okay, students, and the same way osmotic pressure pi is equals to I into C, means concentration, into R into T, where R is equals to gas constant. Okay, T is equals to absolute temperature. This is about whether the solute undergoes association or dissociation, then that colligative properties formulas. Okay, students, now the solutions and the colligative properties concepts all are over. Now that colligative properties, based on the colligative properties, what kind of questions especially they are asking in board examination, that questions now we'll discuss. Later we'll discuss about that important objective questions. Previously what kind of questions they're asked in NEET and JEE examination, that questions also I will do videos. Okay, students, Let's see carefully the first question. What is the given first question, dear students? The given first question is the vapor pressure of pure benzene at certain temperature is 0.850 bars they given. When 0.5 grams of non-volatile solute, if the solute name they are not mentioned and it is non-volatile means it does not undergoes association and it does not undergoes dissociation. We have to remember that point. Then the Van Hoff factor value I is equals to 1 means it is normal colligative property. So 0.5 grams of non-volatile solute is added to 39 grams of benzene, and gram molecular weight of benzene is 78 they gave. And due to the addition of 0.5 grams of non-volatile solute, the vapor pressure of benzene, solvent vapor pressure is always more than the solution vapor pressure. Then the solution vapor pressure, how much they gave, dear students? 0.845 bars. Then what is the molecular weight or molar mass of non-volatile solute they're asked. So for this question, we know that the relative lowering of vapor pressure, we know that RLVP, relative lowering of vapor pressure means P naught minus PS by P naught for dilute solutions is nothing but number of moles of solute by number of moles of solvent. Number of moles of solute is nothing but weight by gram molecular weight of solute. So we need to find out the gram molecular weight of solute into the gram molecular weight of solvent, MA by the weight of solvent. Okay, this is the formula, dear students. In that formula, they gave P naught and PS value and P naught. Just we have to find out the gram molecular weight of a solvent. MB value we need to find out, or molar mass of a solute. Okay, students. Now let's see. Just you have to substitute the given values in the above formula. The P naught value they gave 0.850 minus PS is equals to 0.845 bars divided by the P naught means the vapor pressure of pure solvent is here benzene 0.850 is equals to the weight of solute 0.5 grams divided by MB we need to find out, and the gram molecular weight of solvent is benzene, it is 78 divided by the weight of solvent is equals to 39 grams. Okay, students, now we need to simplify this. Then this is 0.850 minus 0.845 is nothing but 0.005 divided by 0.850 is equals to 0.5 by MB into 78 divided by 39. 78 divided by 39. This MB we need to find out is on simplification that MB is equals to 0.5 into 78 into 0.850 divided by 0.005 into 39 is on simplification will get 170 gram per mole. Okay, students, 170. So the answer is the molar mass of solute. Molar mass of solute. Molar mass of solute, that is MB is equals to 170 gram per mole. Okay, students, this kind of questions are very, very important. And the second question is also related to same. Okay, this is about a first question. Okay, students, let's go for second question. What is the given second question, dear students? The second question is also same model. 5.8 grams of non-volatile solute. So what is the weight of solute, dear students? 5.8. 5.8 grams of non-volatile solute means the weight of solute WB they gave. Okay, is dissolved in 100 grams solvent weight WA, 100 grams of carbon disulfide. Okay, the vapor pressure of the solution, that is PS is equals to 190 they gave mm of Hg. Calculate the molar mass of solute. and the given vapor pressure of pure solvent carbon disulfide they gave, that is P naught is equals to 198, and we need to find out the molar mass of solute and gram molecular weight of CS2 carbon disulfide. How much they gave, dear students? 76 they gave. So for this question also the problem formula is same, P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into gram molecular weight of solvent divided by weight of solvent. Okay, now we need to find out MB. MB we need to find out what is MB value. Okay, all that values they gave. So the P naught is equals to 195 they gave, dear students, and PS is equals to 190 divided by 195 is equals to 5.85 grams of solute they gave, and the gram molecular weight of non-volatile solute we need to find out. Non-volatile non-ionized solute, see here that solute name they are not mentioned, just it is non-volatile they gave, means for this solute non-volatile, that's why Van Hoff factor I is equals to 1 we need to consider. So just simply for board examination non-volatile non-ionized solutes only they will give, but in objective exams ionized solutes or dimerization solutes also they will give in objective exams. That's why P naught minus PS by P naught is equals to number of moles of solute by number of moles of solvent formula I am using. Okay, and the molecular weight of solvent is equals to 76 divided by WA, weight of solvent is equals to 100. Okay students, now the MB is equals to, okay, MB is equals to 5 divided by 195 is equals to 5.8 by MB into 76 divided by 100. Then molar mass of solute is equals to 5.8 into 76 into 195 divided by 5 into 100 is on simplification we'll get 171.91 gram per mole. Okay, is approximately 172 gram per mole. Okay students, the second question, the molar mass of solute, the molar mass of solute is equals to 172 gram per mole, 172 gram per mole. Okay students, let's see the third question, dear students. What is the given third question, dear students? The given third question is 4% solution of non-volatile solute is an isotonic with 0.702% of urea is present. So calculate the molar mass of non-volatile solute they're asked. So urea gram molecular weight they give, means the both the solutions, urea solution and non-volatile solute solutions both are isotonic. Okay, so 4% weight by volume of non-volatile solute, non-volatile solute means 4 grams of solute in 100 ml of solution. Okay students, in the same way 0.702% weight by volume of urea, urea solution. Urea means it is also for urea I is equals to 1 because it is also non-volatile and non-ionized solute. Urea solution means 0.702 grams of urea in 100 ml of solution. 100 ml solution. Okay students, their osmotic pressures are equal. Pi 1 is equals to pi 2. Okay, now pi is equals to C1 RT is equals to C2RT, and the C1 is equals to C2. Then C1 is nothing but N1 by V1 is equals to N2 by V2, and V1 is equals to V2 also, because the volume is 100 ml. Therefore, N1 by N1 is equals to N2. So N1 is nothing but weight by gram molecular weight. Weight, how much they gave? Non-volatile solute, dear students, 5.8 grams. Sorry, 4% means 4 grams by gram molecular weight. We need to find out. 4 by m is equals to weight of urea 0.702 grams divided by 60. Then the m is equals to 4 into 60 divided by 0.702 is on simplification. We are getting 341.8 gram per mole. Okay, students. So the gram molecular weight of non-volatile solute. So the non-volatile solute gram molecular weight, how much we got, dear students? 341.8 gram per mole came. So this is about, already last class only I said, for isotonic solutions related problems are asking in board examination as well as in objective exams also. Okay, let's see, dear students, fourth question. What is the given fourth question, dear students? If you observe that the given fourth question is the elevation of boiling point concept. Okay, read carefully, dear student. The boiling point of benzene. Benzene is a solvent. The boiling point they gave, that is T0, is 353.23. So for that they are adding 1.8 grams of non-volatile solute added. Due to that addition of non-volatile solute to the 90 grams of benzene solvent, its boiling point of the solution is raised to, that is T is equals to 354.11 kelvins. The calculate the molar mass of the solute they are asking, and Kb, elevation of boiling point constant or ebullioscopic constant for the benzene solvent they gave 2.53 Kelvin kg per mole. So we need to find out the molar mass of a solute. So for this case, the formula and non-volatile solute they said means I is equals to 1. That's why I is equals to 1. Then that's why delta TB is equals to Kb into molality. Delta TB is nothing but Ts, means the boiling point of solution is nothing but T minus T0 is equals to Kb into molality. Weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent in grams. Okay, now we need to find out MB. We need to find out a MB. Okay, students. Now that MB is equals to Kb into Wb into 1000 divided by T minus T0 into WA. Just you have to substitute the values. The Kb is equals to 2.53 they gave, and the weight of solvent is equals to 1.80 grams they gave, into 1000 divided by the difference delta TB is equals to 354.11 minus 353.23 into weight of solvent. The weight of solvent benzene weight is 90 grams they give. Okay, is on simplification 2.53 into 1.80 into 1000 divided by this bracket you have to simplify. That value is equals to 0.81 into 90. Sorry, 0.88 into 90 will comes. Then is on simplification we are getting 57.5 gram per mole. Okay, so the non-volatile solute gram molecular weight or molar mass, how much we got, dear students? The molar mass is equals to 57.8. In the same, just for values, numerical values are changing. Fifth question is also in the same model. Fifth question is also in the same model. Okay, students, let's see that fifth question. The fifth question, on dissolving 2.34 grams of non-volatile solute in 40 grams of benzene solvent. Okay, the boiling point of the solution is raised of pure benzene by 0.81 Kelvin. Means here delta TB directly they gave. Delta TB is equals to 0.81 kelvins by the addition of 2.34 grams of non-volatile solute to the benzene solvent, to the 40 grams of benzene. So we need to find out the molar mass of non-volatile solute, and the Kb formula for benzene is equals to Kb value 2.53 Kelvin kg per mole inverse they gave. Okay, now delta TB is equals to, and I also is equals to 1 for this. Delta TB is equals to Kb into molality, weight by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 divided by weight of solvent. Okay, now just you have to find out MB is equals to Kb, MB is equals to Kb into WB into 1000 divided by delta TB into WA. Okay, just you have to substitute the values. Kb value they gave 2.53, and weight of solute is equals to 2.34 into 1000 divided by 0.81 into weight of solvent. Benzene weight they gave 40 grams. Okay, 40. Now is on simplification, we'll get 182.72 gram per mole is nothing but approximately we have to consider 183 grams per mole of solute is present. Okay, student, this is about elevation of boiling point related conceptual questions for board examination. Okay, let's go for sixth question, dear students. The sixth question, what is the given sixth question, dear students? The sixth question is 1 gram of non-volatile and non-electrolyte solute. Non-electrolyte solute means cannot ionize. Then I is equals to 1. Okay, Van Hoff factor is equals to 1. Like 1 gram of non-volatile, non-ionized or non-electrolyte solute is dissolving in 50 grams of benzene solvent, then the lowering of freezing point. So the freezing point delta TF they gave directly. How much the freezing point is decreased, dear students? The sixth question, delta TF, the decreasing the freezing point or depression of freezing point is 0.40 kelvins they gave. Okay, now the find the molar mass of solute they gave, and Kf for benzene. Kf value for benzene is equals to 5.12 Kelvin kg per mole. Kelvin kg per mole they gave. So we need to find out the molar mass of solute. We need to find out. So for this case, the formula is equals to delta TF is equals to Kf into molality. Molality is nothing but weight of solute divided by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent. Okay, students. Now MB is equals to Kf into WB into 1000 divided by delta TF into WA. Then Kf value is equals to 5.12 into weight of solute, non-volatile and non-electrolyte solute is equals to 1 divided into 1000 divided by delta TF is equals to 0.40 into weight of solvent, benzene weight they gave 50 grams. Okay, is on simplification we'll get, we are getting 256 gram per ml. sorry, gram per mole. Okay, so 256 will come. That is the molar mass of a solute. Okay, students, this is about sixth question and related to depression of freezing point constant. Let's see the seventh question, dear students. What is the seventh question? The seventh question is also related to depression of freezing point only. If you observe that, the seventh question, a solute containing 18 grams of non-volatile and non-electrolyte solute is present in 200 grams of water. Here the solvent is water, and water freezing point constant is 1.86. Then freezes at the solution freezing point temperature is equals to 272.07 kelvins they gave, and water freezing point is 0 degrees centigrade, is nothing but 273 Kelvin, depression of freezing point. Okay, so the T naught is equals to 273 Kelvin, and the freezing point temperature of solution is equals to 272.07 Kelvins. Okay, and the weight of solute WB is equals to 18 grams they gave, and gram molecular weight of solute we need to find out, and water solvent is water, so the weight of solvent WA is equals to 18 grams, and gram molecular weight of solvent here gram molecular weight of solvent is not required, the weight of solvent is equals to 18 grams they give. Now delta TF, depression of freezing point, is equals to Kf into molality, is nothing but weight by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent, From this MB is equals to Kf into WB into 1000 divided by delta TF into WA. Okay, and Kf value is equals to 1.86 into weight of non-volatile non-ionized solute is equals to 18 grams into 1000 divided by delta TF is nothing but is the difference in the freezing point temperature of solvent and solution, means 273 minus 272.07 into 18 is on simplification 1.86 into 18 into 1000 divided by this difference is 0.93 into 18 is on simplification 180 will comes, means the molar mass of solute is equals to 180 gram per mole. Okay, so this is about seventh question. Let's see, dear students, eighth question related to osmotic pressure. Eighth question is related to osmotic pressure. So 300 centimeter cube means 300 ml of aqueous solution of protein contains 2.12 grams of protein is present, means the protein weight they gave. So osmotic pressure also they gave. We need to find out the molar mass of protein. Okay, it's very easy, dear students. Let's see. And protein is non-ionized, so that's why its high value for proteins are 1. Let's see eighth question, dear students. Eighth question, we know that osmotic pressure pi is equals to CRT. The C is nothing but number of moles by volume into RT is nothing but pi is equals to osmotic pressure pi is equals to weight of solute divided by gram molecular weight of solute into RT by V in liters, the volume in liters. Then MB is equals to WB into RT divided by pi into V, volume in liters. So the volume V is equals to 300 centimeter cube is nothing but 300 ml. 300 ml is nothing but 0.3 liters. 0.3 liters. Just you have to substitute In the above formula, just W weight of protein WB is equals to 2.12 grams. 2.12 grams, and R value they gave in the question in liter bar mole Kelvin inverse, that is 0.0823, and temperature is at 300 kelvins, and osmotic pressure under that temperature is 3.89 into 10 to the power of minus 3. This is 10 to the power of minus 3, dear students, and volume is equals to 0.3 liters. Is on simplification, we are getting 44,852.44 gram per mole. This is the protein gram molecular weight or molar mass of the protein by using osmotic pressure concept. Okay, pi is equals to CRT is nothing but pi is equals to N by V into RT. N is nothing but weight by gram molecular weight of solute. So the WB we are finding out. Okay, this is about 8th question. Let's see, dear students, 9th question. What is the given 9th question, dear students? The given 9th question is the vapor pressure of benzene. The vapor pressure of benzene is 200 mm of Hg gave, and 2 grams of non-volatile solute is dissolved in 78 grams of benzene, and the vapor pressure of solution they gave, that is 198 mm of Hg. Calculate the molar mass of the solute. Vapor pressures they gave means relative lowering of vapor pressure formula. So the P naught minus Ps by P naught is equals to mole fraction of solute. For dilute solutions, that formula is equals to weight of solute by gram molecular weight of solute into gram molecular weight of solvent divided by weight of solvent. From that, we need to find out MV, molar mass of solute. We need to find out. P naught means the vapor pressure of pure solvent is benzene is the vapor pure solvent. That's its vapor pressure is 200 mm of Hg, and solution vapor pressure is 195 divided by 200 is equals to the weight of solute. 2 grams of non-volatile solute is present, 2 by MB into MA means gram molecular weight of solvent. Solvent is benzene, its gram molecular weight is 78 divided by how much benzene weight is present, dear students? 78 grams of benzene is present. This is also 78. So now MB we need to find out. So 200 minus 195 is nothing but 5 divided by 200 is equals to 2 by MB into 78. 78 will cancel. This will cancel. Then MB is equals to 2 into 200 divided by 5 is on simplification will get 80. Is on simplification will get 80 grams per mole. So the solute gram molecular weight is 80. Okay, students. Let's see that 10th question, dear students. What is the given 10th question, dear students? The given 10th question is 31 grams of unknown molecular material is dissolved in 500 grams of water. The resultant solution is freezes at 273.14 kelvins. Calculate the molar mass of the material. Unknown means solute molecular weight there are. And Kf they gave 1.86. T naught F means the freezing point temperature of water or solvent is 273 kelvins they ask. Okay, so in this case delta TF is equals to Kf into molality. Molality is nothing but weight by gram molecular weight of solute into 1000 by weight of solvent. Okay, now MB is equals to Kf into WB into 1000 divided by delta TF into WA. Okay, students, then the Kf value for water is 1.86 and weight of non-volatile solute is 31 grams into 1000 divided by delta TF is nothing but is the difference in the freezing point temperature of solvent minus solution, means 273 minus 271.14 into weight of solvent is water weight is 500 grams. Okay, is on simplification 1.86 into 31 into 1000 divided by this difference is 1.86 will comes into 500. Okay, then this 2 times it will cancel and it will be cancel with each other. 31 into 2 is nothing but 62. 31 into 2 is nothing but 62 gram per mole. Okay, student, this is about a 10th question. So 10th question is a depression of freezing point related concept. Let's see that 11th question, dear students. 11th question. 11th question is that vapor pressure of pure liquid P0A they gave at 298 kelvins is 300 mm of Hg, and vapor pressure of pure solvent, that is vapor pressure of component B P0B is equals to 450 mm of Hg. Okay, 450 mm of Hg respectively, and the total vapor pressure P total is equals to P total vapor pressure is equals to 405 mm of Hg. So we need to find out, calculate the mole fraction of A. What is the mole fraction of A, they are asked, and we know that the total vapor pressure according to Raoult's law, the total vapor pressure Pt is equals to Pa plus Pb, and Pt is equals to P0A into Xa plus P0B into Xb. Okay, then Pt is equals to, and we know that Xa plus Xb is equals to 1, then Xb is equals to 1 minus Xa, because Xb I am converted into in the terms of Xa, because Xa value we need to find out. That's why only I converted Xb place, I will take 1 minus Xa. Then the Pt, the total vapor pressure of the solution is equals to 405, and P0A is equals to 300 mm of Hg, 300 into Xa plus P0B value is 450 into 1 minus Xa. 1 minus Xa is on simplification 405 is equals to 300 Xa plus 450 minus 450 into Xa. Okay, 450 into Xa, then is on simplification 450 minus 300 into Xa is equals to 450 minus 405. Okay, then Xa is equals to 45 divided by 150, means 450 minus 300 is nothing but 150, then 45 by 150 is nothing but 0.3. So the mole fraction of A is equals to 0.3, and mole fraction of B is equals to 1 minus 0.3 is equals to 0.7. Then the total mole fractions of all components is equals to 1. Already we know that. Okay, students. If A they are asked, that's why A we calculate. If B they are asked, means B we have to calculate. Or both they are asked also, we can calculate very easily. Okay, this kind of questions also very important. Let's see the 12th question, dear students, is the theoretical question. So it is related to ideal gases and non-ideal, ideal solutions and non-ideal solutions concept. Okay, two components they gave. What are those two components, dear students? A is equals to 10 ml and B is also is equals to 10 ml. Okay, then if A and B forms the solution, means the resultant solution, first one, the resultant solution is equals to 19.9 ml they gave. This 19.9 ml is nothing but is less than the volume of A plus B, is less than the 20 ml. Okay, so is less than means that is delta V mixture is negative. Delta V mixture is negative, or delta V mixture is less than 0, negative sign. It indicates that the resultant solution is resultant solution is negative deviation solution. Is a negative deviation solution from Raoult's law, negative deviation solution. Let's see the second one, the resultant solution. How much they gave, dear students? That is 20.1 ml. This 20.1 ml means A plus B is 20 ml, is more than the 20 ml. That's why delta V mixture is positive. Means the delta V mixture is positive, means the resultant solution it shows positive deviation. It shows a positive deviation from Raoult's law. For example, third condition. If here I am not gave the third condition, if the third condition they gave the resultant solution is 20 ml, then what kind of deviation it will show? If the resultant solution is equals to 20 ml and is also is equals to given A plus B volume. A plus B volume is equals to 20 ml. That's why the delta V mixture is equals to 0. Then it is a ideal solution. It is ideal solution. Okay, students, you have to remember these conditions. These conditions are very important for board examination as well as a objective examination also. Okay, so these are the important some conceptual related numerical based questions for board examination. These all are very important for board examination only, and that related little bit tough questions they are asking in a NEET and JEE examination. I will do that NEET and JEE examination questions also. Okay, students, thank you for all, and please subscribe and share and like my videos. Thank you for all.